Today I wanted to just do a quick video on reflecting on how I would manage participation, attitudes and behaviours to reach learning outcomes, which is task 3, S12. I wanted to base this on a training session that I may do with one of my clients, whereby I, on the outset of the call, would always outline some guidance as to what I hope to achieve that day, what I hope they would achieve that day, and then also to maybe put in place some sort of rules to ensure that the training session would flow better, i.e. maybe turning off the mobile phone if they can, or maybe going somewhere a little bit quiet to fully engage with the training session. Often I do have clients that their phone would ring halfway through and they'd have to pick that up, and that's fine. If that's the case, I would just take myself a step backwards, just recap the last sort of sentence or two that we spoke about, and then move on to the next session. I would always ensure that I relate the content to what their focus is. So after establishing those sort of rules for the phone call, I would always ask what their focus is, what their role is, so that I can ensure that the information that I give them is relevant to their role and keep them engaged. I wouldn't want to show them content that was completely out of their job role or daily workflow. I would also always try to enable, ask them to physically become active within the training session as well. So I would maybe run a high-level report online, and then sort of say to them, I'm going to send this to you as an Excel spreadsheet. Can you open it, have a look through, and ensure that the data points that I've put in here are actually showing up on your Excel spreadsheet? That engages them. It ensures that they can see another way that the data is actually shown, and another way that this might show them how helpful it could be in their job role and their workflow by having it in a different format. And then lastly, at the end of the session, I would always recap what we've learnt and give a bit of an overview of what the key parts of the session that we have completed, and then of course ask for any if there are any questions at the end, which I always find really helpful, as often whilst you're in the flow of training, somebody might not have the confidence to ask, but when you actually say that's the end, have you got any questions, they may well then come up with a couple of questions that you might not have originally thought of. So there we are. That's how I would manage participation, attitudes and behaviours, ensuring that they reach the learning outcomes. I would also, just to make a note, the point of the session is so that they learn how to do this themselves, so that they can use the platform in the best way. If they don't fully engage with me and understand the session, then that wouldn't happen. And that ultimately is the goal. The happier the client is using the session, using the platform, and the more engaged they are, the less likely they are to cancel their subscription.